Y'all.
Listen, honestly, no disrespect to anyone who listens to it, but we're just doing this because contractually we're obligated. I'm like falling asleep. Courtney, we love you, but...
We are committed to you, motherfuckers. So we get up in the morning. We do this shit early in the morning on a Monday morning. Like, who decides? Well, we're just like, okay, what day is the show going to come out? What day we're going to record? Who decides in their right mind? First thing Monday, we'll...
Honey, I think this was first thing Monday.
Right.
I've already done a load of laundry.
Right.
And drank a pot of coffee. So as far as I'm concerned, it's now mid-noon nap time.
You know me, I get up at the crack of dawn. I've been up. Well, I first got up at 4. And I turned on Darlene and Michael, because, you know, I have to watch Darlene and Michael.
Wait a minute, introduce the show. Introduce the show, for Christ's sake. In case we have new listeners who just think that they've randomly stumbled onto, like, two people who've escaped from Bellevue.
Creedmoor.
Don't date yourself.
Creedmoor's still open.
Oh, Hashtag goals.
Welcome to ImmaLetYouFinish. It's Courtney and Amy. We're back with another titillating episode.
Oh my God! You know how I
your titillation.
You know how I torture my students when I feel like torturing them.
What?
And then I'll just move and we'll move on to discuss. But when I'm referring to the title character of a story, I refer to it as the titular character because I just want to torture them because nobody uses that word. Right. And I want to see if they're going to look the fucking word up or pretend that there's a character named titular. All right, I'm going to take a little nap. I hurt my shoulder somehow, my collarbone. So I'm going to take a little nap. Courtney, this is your dream show because I'm incapable of saying anything. So go.
So last night were the Turd Awards. I didn't watch them. I guess
Borat
won.
I didn't watch
else won.
I didn't watch them either.
Chadwick won, which we all saw that coming, and people won for the things and the people, and that's it. So
have you seen okay, first off, we all know, back when we were children, the Golden Globes had less legitimacy than the People's Choice Awards.
I mean, it was kind of like, my favorite part of the Golden Globes was always how people were winning for the movies, that they were like, and the movie comes out in August. You're like, oh. So she won.
Yeah. No, so that it's taken on any legitimacy because, you know, it's literally 80 journalists from a small Albanian newsletter in a room somewhere getting like fucking payoffs, and so it's absolute bullshit. You can't have comedies competing with it's bullshit, whatever, and they're drunk, and there's no black people, and it's just ridiculous. Supposedly one of the members is blind, I read, or visually impaired.
Well, considering the fact the movies that are always nominated and win, that kind of, makes sense.
But here's my question. Do you have any, no disrespect, but do you have any inclination to watch this Billie Holiday movie? Because I don't.
Well, here's the thing. And I'm sure this is going to be an unpopular opinion. And
not to me. Not to me.
Oh, I know it won't be to you. And for a couple of my friends who I talk to all of the time and some who work in film, they absolutely agree with me. I think Lee Daniels makes shitty movies. I think he makes... Wait,
I'm clapping.
Okay. I think he makes okay films that look all right, but they're not really great. If you really go back and start looking at some of his films, they're not great.
Right.
The reviews for this haven't been great. Everything that I keep reading, they say what's really missing from this movie is Billie Holiday. Now, I see some friends of mine that I see online, they've been doing a lot of promotion for it, and people are getting gift boxes and stuff, and everybody's like, oh... Is there heroin
in the gift box? That would be excellent. I need to get on that list.
But the truth of the matter is, I think Lee Daniels makes shitty movies. I do. So I'm not in a rush to see an interpretation of a film that seems like it's missing the Billie Holiday-ness of it that I'm going to need a Billie Holiday movie to have. So no, I'm not in any rush to see it.
Yeah, I'm in like no rush to see it either. I mean, I've only seen a couple of his movies. I didn't see, what's it called? The Butler? Is that the one?
The Butler.
Yeah, I got The Help and The Butler mixed up. It's very confusing. But I did see Precious because everybody saw Precious, and I thought it was really good. But I have a feeling that if I go back and watch Precious now, I'm going to find it ridiculous or semi-ridiculous. And I've read things. Being a white person, this is not my critique to have. But I have a lot of black folks have said that he just trades in misery. It's like he makes black misery porn, you know?
And listen, the thing about Precious is, Precious was decent. I'll give him, I will say that Precious was decent. But I also read the book Push by Sapphire. I still have my hard copy cover of that book. So to me, basing it on that material, I thought, okay. And the performances really elevated that, right? I thought Gabby Sidibe was amazing, and Monique with her crazy ass was amazing. So the performances made it all right. But I'm sorry, Lee movies, go back to The Woodsman and go back to some of his other movies, and you're just like, this is a piece of shit. And the same thing with Empire. The thing that excited people about Empire was people always love the character when you have a black woman who plays that, right? That kind of over-the-top set. They love that. That's why Sandra from 227 was an amazing character. She was funny, but she was that body, and that's what Taraji was. So a whole new generation and white people discovered Taraji P. Henson, who we all, as black people, and you, because, and
quality whites.
Had her for 20 years, we knew who she was.
Right.
And because every week he would drop 5 music superstars in the fucking show. Yeah. But the show's not great. The script wasn't great.
Well, it's trashy.
Not great. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, so we both agreed that we didn't watch Golden Globes. I didn't watch it for various reasons. But I'm going to say one thing and we can move on. And this is the meanest thing I'm going to say today. If it keeps Andra Day from singing that fucking one song of hers again, I'm good.
That song has sold the White House, cancer, AIDS,
it's her
9/11, 20 years after.
It's gotta stop. All right. So we didn't watch it. Next.
I mean, the gift that keeps giving is your guy, Governor Suge Knight. I think we need to add a hyphen onto his last name because we knew he was Governor Suge Knight. We didn't think he was a pervert, too. But
No, I'm sorry. Okay, let me just say this as a woman.
Did you think he was a pervert?
I don't think he's a pervert. I think he's every guy in power. Every woman, every single woman, I would guarantee, who I know, whatever, has had some guy at some job or some situation who thinks it's like okay to say stupid shit, right? The problem, it's problematic when it's your peer. Obviously, the problem is, the real problem is when this guy is your boss, and he is like the Uber boss, right? So I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't think it's even pervert. I think even though he has daughters and is in the real world, and I don't think he's like,
yeah, but didn't some women say that he tried? But didn't one of the women say he tried to forcibly kiss her? That's perversion.
No, I mean, I think that it's what men will get away with.
No, listen, we're not all men, and I'm going to stand up for men. Not all men, and not all men in power are like that. We are absolutely not. I'm not gonna just tag all men that way. I gotta stand up for my brothers. We are not all like that. That's bullshit.
Not all. What I'm saying is, if they can get away with it, they will get away with it.
Not every man is.
I'm not saying if they can get away with. I'm saying if they're not that guy, no, they're not going to try it.
Right.
But if they are kind of thinking that they can get away with it, they're going to get away with it. And the thing is, with someone like Cuomo, look, I can't stand the guy. I think he's a bully. I think part of his bullying is this sense that he has never been really held to task for anything he's ever done. Okay? He's true. And it's funny because, and he got way too much credit. I mean, we all have discussed this, that we were very comforted when he was talking, but look at the bar he was up against. But I will say, in a lot of ways, we talked about it last week.
We did not come out the gate strong, people.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is that in a lot of ways, he is a version of Donald Trump. He went into the family business. I mean, he's more educated, but he went into the family business. I mean, Mario wasn't a dick. Fred Trump was a dick. But he's always gotten away with stuff in his own way. He paid a little price when he got divorced. Sandra Lee hasn't said shit, and I bet she's got a lot to say.
Well, they're both friends, evidently. So,
but what I'm saying is that I'm not accusing him of being a serial rapist. He does, look, he's good on certain issues, obviously. He's good on gun control. He's good on gay, LGBTQ rights. He's pro-choice. He's anti-death penalty. For me, these are important issues. But
do you think this affects his run because he wants to run next year?
Yeah, I think he's done.
You think he's done?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I think people are sick of him. I think he's out. I think that he's already bumbling up this. He's bumbled this apology. He's done one of those "if I've offended you" apologies, which doesn't fly right now because everyone's. And I think where he's done is his own people are going against him, but he's still popular. I mean, he could, depending on who they put up, against him.
Right.
And also people have a short attention span, for fuck's sake.
They really, really do. Because how about fat Ted Cruz up there thinking like he can make jokes about his shit? It's like, dude, you're not in on the joke. You are the joke.
No,
you're not in on the joke.
He's just not. Honestly, he's not even. He's not even worth our attention.
So
you know what I mean? Yeah, I hate him.
This weekend.
Yeah.
I got my first vaccination shot. I've joined the Amy Club.
That's right. You are now, as my friend Petey in England goes, a bride of Bill.
And now that the microchip has been implanted in me, sex for everyone. Come on over.
And you're gonna become really good at financial stuff because, as you know, the Jews are controlling this. And you'll learn Hungarian. So you and I can when we can travel to my motherland and speak Hungarian. It'll be great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. So my church facilitated a pop-up, which was
of the Poison Mind. Do you go to the Church of the Poison Mind?
Yes, I do. Because I have been looking for an appointment. You know the saga I've been going through, and it's been crazy. So the church had a pop-up, called first thing, got an appointment, great. And I'm laying in bed Saturday morning. I'm up at like 6. I watch, Miles Miller and Darlene and Michael on the weekends. It's, Pat Battle, my girl. So I'm watching Pat, and she's telling me everything that I need to know. And then they're like, we go to Miles Miller, who's standing in front of my church at 6 o'clock saying, this is going to be a pop-up starting this weekend. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And he's like, oh, and Bloomberg's going to be coming later today. I was like, oh, fuck.
Bloomberg?
Not Bloomberg. What's his name? Same thing. De Blasio.
Well, a little different. Bloomberg, first off, is half the size of the Blasio.
I know, it's true. I don't know. It's so funny. That's my wishes of Bloomberg still being our mayor, that I always just say Bloomberg. As much as he made me angry, I thought he was a good mayor for the city.
Really? We'll have that discussion another time. Let's have that discussion another time because my shoulder hurts.
Okay. So I'm like, watch this motherfucker be there when I come. I'm like, ugh, that's going to be horrible. So anyway, I get there a little early. It's not crowded. I'm outside. I just keep seeing more photographers show up. I'm like, fuck, this motherfucker's going to show up during my time. Then I see police kind of stopping traffic in one direction. I'm like, oh, right. Anyway, so it's my time. I go in. I'm sitting down, back to the door. My chair is the one that's literally in front of the doors as you walk in. My arm is sleeves rolled up, nurse putting needle in arm, and all I hear is, hey, everybody, and click, 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 click. I did not turn my head. I don't know what's on camera. All I know is I did have on a look, because once I got the wind that he was going to be there, I was like, well, at least you should throw something on, darling, in case you got caught. You don't want to look homeless, But I say all of that to say, you know, I can't tell people what to do, what's good for your life. I just know for me, I'm glad that I started this process only because every day I'm still having conversations with different friends and people around me are still catching COVID, like for real. I know everybody keeps saying the numbers are down, but
no, not in New York. They're not.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody I keep talking to, someone, everybody's like, my brother, my cousin, my friend's mother, my friend's partner.
Two students this week who have parents. If you look at the chart in the New York Times, it's like plummeting nationwide, but in New York it says in big purple letters, extremely high risk, extremely high risk.
And we're opening up more shit. It kind of is a little head scratching. I'm like, I see us being like, all right, I'm glad you can go see a Knicks game. I'm glad you can sit inside. I'm glad some of these people are able to make money, but at the same time, I'm like, every other conversation I've been having for the last 2 weeks, somebody said, yo, da-da-da has COVID. Yo, my mom has COVID. Yeah. And I'm like, well, every time I look at television, they're telling me this shit's getting better, but the conversations I'm having in real life,
no, they're not.
It's gotten so close to me that I really started getting nervous because some of the conversations I'm having are people who I know have been really careful, just like you and I've been careful, and they're like, I don't know how he got it. I don't know how she got it.
Because it's these variants. Well, yeah. Here's the thing. I mean, the UK shutdown is under a severe lockdown, no joke, and their rates are down 80%. So that's how you have to do it. We're Americans, and we want our cake and eat it too. You either shut down or you don't shut down. Things went down in New York when we shut down. I appreciate businesses need to open up. I appreciate all that. But movie theaters, really? Keep them shut. Keep them shut. All right. Well, I'm glad you got your shot. Good. You know, I'm fully vaccinated. I'm still operating business as usual, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Listen, I still 2-mask the entire thing. But there's a sense of relief to feel there is. You know what? All right. Maybe I don't have to worry about so much if I'm exposed to something like fucking ending up in the emergency room. You know what I mean?
You have a degree of, not immunity, but you do have some sense that if, you know, God forbid you do get it, you'll be able to fight it off in a much easier way. But no, nothing is, in the words of the most overrated musician of our time, it ain't over till it's over.
Right. Oh. Yes,
I hate it.
Is it okay to? That's a good segue. Is it okay to hate somebody?
Even without thinking about it, Courtney. Right. Even in pain, I do it. That's how fucking good I am.
Is it okay to really dislike somebody you don't know and you don't know why you don't dislike them?
Yes.
Everything about them just you cannot stand?
Yes.
There's two people that, I have a small list, but there are two people that irritate the fuck out of me, but I don't know why. Listen, I feel like I'm a good judge of person. If I have this visceral reaction to you, there is a reason. The first one is Aisha Curry. I cannot
she's annoying.
stand Aisha
She started out okay. She, as the kids say, she's too thirsty.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, she's a little much. She's a little much.
And the other one is fucking Tondrick Hall.
I don't know enough about him. Although he's the fat guy standing behind. The overweight guy standing behind Taylor all the time. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're going to hate somebody, is he the weight challenge person standing behind? Well, is he? Answer my question. Is he the guy behind?
He is the black guy. I don't know if I would call him.
All right. Well, I mean, she has a somewhat plump black gay guy that she travels with too.
That's him. There's something about him.
I'm not trying to weight shame, okay? But he also plays it up. He plays. He's a choreographer, that guy?
Yeah, he's a choreographer, dancer, singer.
Yeah, I mean, those are just people who are famous by association, basically.
Make songs that make me feel like, you know, you can't sing and these songs are shitty. I don't know why. For her, she really just makes my skin fall off. And
but she
makes me want to punch something.
Well, the thing is that she's done with that phase of her career. So Yeah, I mean, I have tons of people who just have kind of like, I don't know why, there's just something about you that irritates me. But, you know, luckily, we don't ever have to deal with these people.
Right.
And that's a good thing. We don't.
You know what we do have to deal with?
My shoulder?
Over 500 Knicks right now. We have a Knicks team that is over 500 for the first time in years.
If every other NBA team suddenly gets captured by pirates,
right,
we win the championship. That's the way I want to look at it.
The Knicks are like number 4 in the East. It's crazy.
Shocking. It's shocking. The other night I was watching, I kind of had the game on for like a second. Keep in mind that it takes me 4 days to figure out where MSG is. It's really pathetic. But anyway, and they were ahead by like a lot. And I thought, wow, I think we're at the point with the Knicks where I actually can turn it off now and go to bed with some degree of security, because it used to be the Knicks would be ahead by 500 and they would lose it.
And then you wake up and they would lose. But Tom Thibodeau is a great coach.
I know.
Julius Randle has been the key. He's a man who's been in the NBA for 7 years.
Who's the guy with the crazy hair? Who's the guy with the crazy hair?
Which one is crazy hair?
He has blonde hair, and it's crazy. It looks like he's wearing like a blonde weave. He's on our team. No. It's like blonde, and it's like sort of like all over the place. He's got sort of crazy hair.
I don't even know. That sounds
No, seriously.
But that's not Julius Randle. Oh, God.
No. He's a Nick. He's got kind of crazy hair. I'm not saying in a bad way. He's got crazy hair. Just research that. Google it.
Hold on. Okay. I don't know everybody's names. I just know the people that I like. Like, R.J. Barrett's my dude.
Yeah. He's
I like
good.
Obi Toppin.
Do we have a white European from a small country, a small Soviet Union?
Remember, we had Porzingis. We traded him away to the Mavericks.
I know, we should have brought him out. Can I ask you a quick question? And I'm not saying this there's obviously, we've talked about this, been a horrible, horrible spate of attacks against Asian Americans, which is disgusting.
Terrible.
But I just read that Jeremy Lin had been called some sort of racial slur on the court, and it referred to him, he's in the minors, he's in a AAA.
He's in the G League, and they've been calling him, they've called him like coronavirus.
But why is he in the G League? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, because I believe he's been playing for a long time, and, some guys are opting to actually go to the G League and really play.
Okay.
Jeremy Lin was like a journeyman. He played on so many different teams.
I know.
And I believe he was wasn't he on the Raptors when they won, but he didn't play,
Right, and he went to Houston, didn't he?
But I think he started going to all these different teams and not really being played and sent out. And even though he still can play, and he's a great player, so he made that choice to go.
Okay, no, I was just wondering what happened.
To play, and not everybody wants to go overseas to play. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. No, I was just wondering.
And right now, that's kind of not even an option with coronavirus. So in the G League, they can play.
Yeah, that's true. I was just wondering. Okay, what else you got? Ow.
I think nothing.
All right, well, let me tell you how exciting my weekend was. So keeping in, as you know, I am watching nothing but French television. And here's what I've learned. Whether you're a French cop, a French criminal, a French drug dealer, which I guess would technically be a criminal, just a random Frencho walking down the street, their ability with a scarf, oh my God.
They're always very chic, right?
Okay, one of the shows that I'm watching, and I don't even want to tell you how I got it because it's so embarrassing. I literally got like one of those 1 week free things, and I'm watching it like obsessively. Okay, so one of the characters in the show, it's a great show, it's called Serial. It's been around forever. One of the characters in the show ends up going to prison. She's a woman. They are allowed to wear their own clothes in prison, and they got scarves in prison.
Nice.
I think so. I'm like, look at you with your scarves, you French people. First time...
Very Brigitte Macron, who I love.
Oh, my God, they look amazing. The first time I went to Paris, it's like I land, and I'm like, I'm in Paris, I should go shopping. And this is when, pre-Euro, so, like, our money was worth a lot. And I go to, like, I guess, like, the French equivalent of, like, Macy's or something like that. And I see this scarf. It's a wool scarf, though. It had nothing to do with France. It could have been from anywhere. It looks like a black wool scarf. It's really nice. It's super long. But I was like, oh, I need to buy this because it's French. Nothing to do. I could show you this scarf and you'd be like, oh, where'd you get this? At like Marshall's? You know, it's like
but guess what? You still have
French.
it, and bitch, you're like, it's French.
It's
and
French.
And it is French. And you get to be like,
French.
You get to be like, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, exactly. I get to be ho, ho, ho. I watched a kind of cool movie that's going to be coming out on the Netflix, I think today, actually. Someone, old publicist pal of mine sent me an advance, which made me feel like, oh my God, they like me. They really, really like me. That somebody's seeking me out. Right. It's a documentary about Notorious B.I.G. called I Got a Story to Tell.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that.
It's very good. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's mainly consists of sort of home footage and sort of cameo stuff. I liked it a lot. It's very much a slice of Brooklyn at that time. I have lived in Brooklyn during those years, but you didn't go up Fulton Street in 1992. Right, you just didn't. Right, I mean, a corner of Fulton, which is now like, you know, fabulous and expensive. I mean, you just didn't go. I mean, had nothing to do with like being afraid of black people or being afraid of white people. You just didn't go.
I went to LIU in the 80s.
Right, you didn't go.
We didn't even go to Myrtle. Now all of this Myrtle.
Myrtle? Oh, God, are you crazy? Murder Ave? You didn't go anywhere.
There used to be a Kentucky Fried Chicken there.
Yep.
And sometimes we would go on a Kentucky Fried Chicken run. But it would literally be like 4 or 5 of us.
A run. It would literally be a run.
And like nobody would just send somebody by themselves to the run, you know?
No, you didn't do any of that stuff. I mean, literally, Lucian used to go to art classes at Pratt on Saturday morning, and I'd be like, run them up to Pratt, run them back. But anyway, it's a really good documentary. I liked it a lot. And what I liked about it in particular is that a neighbor of mine who's a great musician, Donald Harrison, is interviewed in it. And Donald Harrison knew Biggie as a kid, and he's a jazz musician, and a Mardi Gras Indian, and he worked with Biggie, and they really talk about, when you watch this movie, you can see a musicality in Billy. They talk about his cadence and his jazzy kind of rhythm, and it's well done. It's not sensationalistic. Puffy comes off about the best I've ever seen him in a documentary about Biggie, because he usually comes off a little puffy. But it's really good. So I recommend it. It's coming to Netflix today, I believe. It's called I Got a Story to Tell. It's a small, I've never heard of the director, so I really do recommend it. I like it. I liked it. I thought it was good. Really good.
Are you gonna watch Oprah Presents Harry and Meghan?
I don't give a fuck about either one of them. I really don't. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, wah, your life was bad. You're still a prince.
They are. It's like, that's the thing. They're like, oh, they lost their patronages. They did, but they did not lose their royal titles. They're not using his and her royal highness, but they still are his and her royal highness.
I mean,
and they're still the Duke and the Duchess.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I wish them any harm. I mean, and I, like all Americans,
I'll see the updates later that night so we can talk about it.
Plus, not for nothing, I've always thought Oprah was a terrible interviewer.
I mean, and you see the ad they put out was all Oprah, like, nothing is off limits. Yeah. You just said some very shocking things.
Look, I obviously have nothing against them. I think they're probably wonderful parents, and obviously he's had tragedy in his life. But I gotta say, in the scheme of things that are going, short, no, I am not going to watch it because I have French television to watch, and I have other things to catch up on. I would like to catch up on some of these movies that have won golden, like Nomadland. I'd like to see that. But no, whatever. It's hard to feel sorry for two excruciatingly wealthy people.
Right.
Who don't have to worry about pretty much anything, who got to leave their country and buy a mansion.
Who doesn't love the story of a prince and a stunt queen from LA, honey? It's a Hollywood tale.
Really? A show that I have never met anyone ever watch. Have you ever met anyone who watched Suits? Be honest.
I didn't know who she was.
Me
I didn't know who she was until they started dating. And I was like, oh, she's a black girl. And I was clapping. I was like, yeah.
No idea.
I knew what Suits was from seeing the commercial.
I've
never watched Suits.
No,
I didn't know what a Meghan Markle was.
They're acting like he married like Alicia Keys or somebody. Like I have no idea who this woman is. But as they say down south, bless her heart. I wish her no ill will. I wish neither one of them. But in short, no, I will not be watching them.
Right.
I will not be watching the show. Miss Linden has papers to grade and French television.
But I know what Miss Linden will be watching with me later this month.
What?
The Tina Turner documentary on
for sure.
I mean,
that's gonna be fun. That's going to be fun.
That just has me like, I'm ready. I know my mom's going to watch it. I know I'm going to be crying for half of it. I just have that feeling.
No, it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun.
Tina in her own words and like her whole story. Because, a lot of her story is always just broken down to she was abused. She got away. She became Tina Turner. It's like she's a whole woman with a real life. So I want to hear it from her.
Yeah, no, I think so. But that said, I will say that What's Love Got to Do with It is one of the better biopics.
Oh, it's great. Listen, It was great.
But no, I am not planning. I am planning on watching that, but I am not planning. So check one, no check. All right.
You have all the dates you share before we go. When do we actually find out who's in the new Rock and Roll Hall?
It's so funny you say that because I haven't gotten my ballot yet, and I'm wondering if like somebody secretly has decided she's weighing in too much online. So I have no idea. I'm assuming the ballots will be here this week. Maybe the mail is screwed up because of whatever. But the show is supposed to be in October, maybe? Or March? No, it can't be in March. This is March.
Right.
So it'll be a minute. It'll be, last I read, Fela is winning the fan vote, and that and 50 cents will get you on the subway. But it's just sort of cool that he's,
right, because Pat Benatar was high up in the fan vote.
Yeah, it really means kind of next to nothing. But it just is, it's reassuring that the average person is aware of who he is. So that gives me a tiny schmidgen of hope.
Right.
All right. Anything else, Sunshine?
Well, just to let the people know, follow us on our Facebook where we're really motherfucking active at I'ma Let You Finish, all one word. Follow us on Twitter at Finish I'ma, one word. Follow us on IG at I'ma Let You Finish NY, one word. Follow Listening Party Presents on IG. And, I
think we're also going to set up very soon in Listening's Dress, a telethon for Meghan McCain's hair.
We are, because she needs us.
It's a desperate cry for help.
It's a cry for help. She's really sending out signals saying, I'm being attacked.
When you she looks like she's trying to go to one of those insane black hair festivals that they do, the competition.
The Bronner Brothers, honey. It's like between that or she looks like she's going to an orgy at Tammy Wynette's house.
Hey, you leave Tammy out of this. Tammy is iconic. You leave Tammy.
It's hard.
And she made her career by not being related. No, anyway, we'll be raising money to fight, because it's really hard in a pandemic when people are desperate for work to piss off every hairdresser in America. Because at this point, you and me would get together with 100 masks and snip, snip, snip.
I used to say that about Christina Aguilera. I'd be like, oh, man, you must have been mean to your glam people. Because sometimes she'd come out, and I'd be like, they were like, oh, no, you're fierce, girl, knowing you look
Hey, you know what we should try to watch if we can find it? Let's try to watch the Billie Eilish documentary. I think this is Billie Eilish documentary.
Okay,
all right, because I have a little thing for her. I like her.
All right, yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right,
see you later.
Next week.
Bye.
Bye.
It's NFL draft season, and that means it's time to start thinking about fantasy football. FantasyPoints.com features industry-leading experts and prognosticators using proprietary hand-charted data to help you score more fantasy points. FantasyPoints.com is the place to go for whatever kind of fantasy football you play. Whether you play fantasy football, daily fantasy sports, or do a little bit of everything, Fantasy Points has the meticulously researched content to guide you to victory. And why wait for the fall? Fantasy Points also covers the new spring football league, the UFL. Join the guru, John Hansen, Scott Barrett, Joe Dolan, and other massive names in the fantasy football universe with an exclusive offer. Use code Pantheon for 15% off any Fantasy Points package, including the all-in package, with access to every article, tool, and data nugget that Fantasy Points has to offer. That's FantasyPoints.com and code Pantheon for 15% off at Fantasy Points. FantasyPoints.com, code Pantheon. Score more fantasy points.